Today will be rebuilding an Edelbrock Carburetor. I hope it's good. I hope you like it. First, you must remove your metering dingus. Next up is your second metering dingus. And beneath every good metering dingus there lies a metering springus. Now you can remove your accelerometer plump. Perfect time to get your rod choked off. Get your choke rod off. Followed by whatever this is. Screw it. Now, I'm going to have to kindly ask you to remove your top and let them danglers flap in the wind. Slide out your dangler pins and remove the danglers themselves. Gasket, piston, needles. Get yourself a big old chungus and take out the seats. Now you can remove your Shooter McGavin, Venturi boosters, and your Flappy Bird. Yoink out your float bowl baffles. Now you can get deep down in your crusty hole to remove your jets. Just don't mix up the primary with the secondary, or I will tell Mom. You might as well remove your idle speed screw. And the idle mixture screws. Just count how many turns they are from the bottom before you take them out as a good starting point for when you put it back together. Choke housing, it's gotta go too. Now that you've got everything neatly organized, I want you to find your nearest waste receptacle and send this thing to hell where it belongs. I'm just kidding. This isn't a quadrajet video. Now it's bath time. That's the power of pine sol, baby. I like to set this one to 50 degrees calculus and this one to 30 because that's how old your mom was when she hit the wall. Then it's time to turn on the bees. I would like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, carburetors. Carburetors have been mixing air and fuel in various proportions since like 1800 something, and without all of their hard work, none of this would be possible. To learn up to 15% on carburetors, I encourage you to go to wikipedia.org/wiki/carburetor. That's wikipedia.org/wiki/carburetor. Thank you, and back to the video. So after letting it sit overnight, I ran the bees a couple more times. Let's see what we've got. Christ on a bike, it turned the water gray. When bath time's over, I give all the holes a good blowjing with compressed air. Now I gotta put it all back together. Mixie screws and their springles. Gently snug them, and then mine were 2 1/2 turns out. Idle speed screw. New York Jets. Baffles. Flappy majigger. Juicer boosters with new gaskets, and I like to coat all of my gaskets with that sticky icky, or as I like to call it, the ooey gooey. Just a thin coat. Make sure you put it on the right way, and then little tube to the outside. Same thing for the primaries. These only go on one way, and then the little tube that sticks up goes to the back. The longer screws go in the boosters, save the shorter ones for the lid. If you're anything like me and you forget and you lose your accelerator pump check ball and weight because you forgot about them, luckily most rebuild kits come with replacements. Squirty boy with new gasket. And now for the choke me daddy. New seal held in place by a dab of that ooey gooey. Have a seat or two, preferably new ones with new gaskets. Don't forget to use that big chungus. New needles. And then temporarily install the floats to check the angle of their dangle. They need to be 7/16 of an inch from the lid at the very front. A drill bit is a great way to check. If you need to adjust, take them off and do a little bending right here. But never bend them up against the needle and seat. Some rebuild kits will come with a brand new accelerometer piston, but mine only came with a cup. So I gotta swap them out. Little bit of goop. Spring. Drop it in. The float's got to come back off to fit the top gasket. Covered in goo, of course. Okay, I've seen enough. You can put your top back on now. Rescrew it down in a sort of crisscross pattern. And don't fully tighten them just yet. After a couple crisscrosses, getting tighter each time, I go around in a circle and make sure I didn't miss any. Now the accelerometer plump arm. Make sure the link is saying tss and not zzz. Now it's time for rods of all shapes and sizes. Clip. Choke. This one. And these. Don't forget the sprinkles. And the little lid thing. I didn't show removal of the inlet, but someone had threaded the banjo fitting into the inverted flare fitting. Just pick one or the other. I went ahead and bought a new electric choke because the old one was a gone. Screw it on loose and then turn it so the flap just closes before you tighten it down. And that's how to rebuilderize an Edelbrock Carburetor. I hope you're alive still.